Are you ready? I whisper into her ear. She responds, yes, my king. The sultry sound of her voice makes my manhood clamor for the warmth of her, feeling my heartbeat through my pulse. I am engorged and my phallus jealously awaits a hidden ocean, but I know it's too soon to navigate her waters. The full moon is in the sky and the tide is but on the rise. I want you. Positioned behind her, I place my lips upon her ear and gently begin to nibble at them teasingly as my hands appreciate the girth of her thighs. Her body is an inviting playground, asking me to take a ride. It seems the price of admission is one soul, so I know what she's coming for and who. Like a guardian and protector, I stand behind her, hovering over her diminutive stature, my arms enveloping her with warmth. They deliver her comfort. My words are but a whisper, but they hold the weight to restrain her happily as she becomes a slave to them, bound to me. The part of our souls which is intertwined tightens like restraints fashioned. She belongs to me. My hands part her thighs wider as my teeth bite down on her neck with ample pressure, enough to make her pleasantly cool. My fingers part her pouty lips, playing with her sticky wetness, which drizzles like summer rain upon them. One finger finds its way, and she grabs my arm, bracing herself for pleasure. Echoes of the sound of her reverberate through my ears as I lick my lips lasciviously. She's just right for the taking. A fervid fever pitch of passion is reached as my lips lavish her ears with kisses. One finger becomes two fingers, which cause her to squirm. Sticky are the juices which trickle down below as my fingers plunge deeper and deeper into the vastness of her love. Her crushed velvet walls tightening around me as she pours like the mouth of a raging river. Water rapids crashing freely against the shoreline of my fingers. I indulge deeper in every moment to come. I transcend myself for a moment and I can see us from the outside. Being a naughty voyeur who finds arousal in watching self and other, composed completely of sacral energy. It pulls me back to myself like gravity, pulls me back into myself, grounding me just as her name passes my lips. The sweet tooth of my ear captures it and savors the decadence of the audio candy with which she has provided me. I crave her. Intoxicated by her presence and inebriated by her aura, I want to swim to her very bottom, make myself at home before rising to the surface for air, which I need but don't feel is necessary to survive. The moon at its fullest in the sky is like a call to mate, though neither of us will howl. Before it's all said and done, we will growl and release feral sounds meant for our ears only. My hands reach for her throat, applying gentle pressure, positioning her face towards me. She looks back and I become lost in her eyes and energy which compel me like a spell cast from a glance. And my hands fall to the floor involuntarily. Reaching backwards, he starts stroking the length of my shaft, up and down as I moan into her ear. Good boy, she says provokingly. causing me to harden completely while in her grasp. My teeth bite down on her neck as if they're attempting to draw blood, which startles her as much as it arouses her, causing her to grip and tighten. Engorged in her grasp, I throb and throb until I pulsate. The thick vein which runs the length of my shaft causes me to reach full maturity. The spell of her lotion tickles my nostrils as I grant her full control of me, my eyes intently watching her every motion, putting her hands to her mouth. She spits once, twice, again, and again until her hand is wet. Slightly drooling, I'm so aroused by the visage of her I can't take my eyes from her as she begins stroking my manhood again, now more viciously, the sound of her wet saliva making a slapping noise, which is like heaven to my ears as I moan. I want her. I crave her. I desire her. Dear King, she says, allowing it to linger, knowing I belong to her as my manhood attempts to jerk like it wants to climax, and my eyes slightly roll back. Before I can react, I am entrapped within the confinement of a love, made a prisoner and shackled and kept within her warm embrace, slightly losing my senses, but coming to my senses. I throw a back shot after back shot furiously as I bite my lip. My face grimaces to match my passion. Oh, all of my passion is within her as I fuck her. My aim is to fuck her into beautiful submission. She takes the challenge and arches her back as my hands cup her breast for more leverage. My hands make themselves at home upon her soft, supple breast. They squeeze, tease, tempt with intentions of making her squeal as I watch her every facial expression, committing them to memory as her thighs tremble for me. Conquering her yanni, I crown her as my queen, my sovereign, my love, my divine, and all I want to do is fill her with the creamy confection rising slowly from within me, like a harrow of passion. Raspy moans pass my lips to her ears, attempting to rattle her very soul and misalign her spine. I throw all my power into the back shots. I give her more and more, locking my hips stiffly and squeezing her nipples as I do so. Her yanni responds by attempting to milk me into her grip after grip, to match my pulse after pulse. I won't be denied as she throws her head back looking at me. Her hands reach back over her shoulders, gently rubbing the sides of my face. And for a second I am calmed, nearly satiated, as I listen to her huff and puff, heavily breathing, attempting to tell me something, but the words escape her and refuse to be into her grasp. I grant her a momentary reprieve as we switch positions. She lies on her back. My mouth meets her breast, and it's all divined from the universe from thereafter. My hands press her breasts together, so it's easier for me to go back and forth. My tongue becomes a natural disaster of licks and laps, swirling about with the intensity of a F5 storm, my breast being my target. Each individual nipple gets ravaged, giving both ample attention as she squirms in an attempt to contain her movements, which won't be contained as she arches her back. My teeth bear down on her nipple as she yanks at my hair. harder and harder. But I don't mind. My mouth encouraged her to be rougher as she tugs harder and harder. I drizzle warm saliva all over her breasts, causing them to shine beautifully. The all-encompassing warmth of my mouth engulfs her nipple as I squeeze her breast tighter and tighter, making love to her with my mouth. My hands move about her breast like molding clay, sculpting the perfect orgasm, and my mouth does all the work. The more responsive she is, the more I'll work to satisfy her. Saliva lingers for my lips as they embrace her nipple, my teeth biting down on them, making her fidget as I apply more and more pressure, making her moan, holding her nipple between my lips. I flicker my tongue, swirling it down and around, loudly slurping at her nipple so that she can enjoy the audio candy with which I am giving her. Sitting her upon me, I slide into her wetness with ease as I pulsate between her walls, forcing her to lean over as I take her breast into my mouth, once more worshipping her nipples with plentiful saturation. My eyes roll back into my head a little as I listen to the sound of her, every inch of me filling her to the brim. My oral fetish satisfied, her nipples won't go without attention on my watch. Suckle, tease, lick, linger, suck, saturate. I want it to explode all over me. Her juices so profuse they drench my thighs and her thighs. Sitting her on top of me properly, I arch my back from below, reaching up, squeezing her breast as I rattle off rapid-fire strokes from beneath her, watching her facial expression change time and time again. The entire time I don't want to stop until every ounce of my cum is inside of her and her walls milk me as I am, and we both lose sense of our common sense. Eyes roll back in euphoria. I am tempted to come, but not before her. My hands at the home, I squeeze her breast tightly, tighter than before, with more force as she moans, and then all goes silent. Orgasmic waves of elation sweep us away as we both convulse, a symphony of shared shivers, the sound of heavy breathing as the orchestra as we come, writing a concerto, a sensual sonata as we secrete our very essence into one another and die, only to be reborn within the same moment. Expended and exalted, we lie in the puddle of our royalty, forever king and queen.